Greetings, Generals. Welcome to Gonzo Gamer's Guide to the J&P Mod. My install guide for the mod was the first in this series. My goal with this series is to equip players with the knowledge that they need to be more successful when playing the mod. Today, I will begin discussing career point selections. Choosing your starting career areas is one of the first steps you take when launching a new campaign, and making poor choices can significantly increase the difficulty early on. Many players launch their first campaign in the current mod version, assuming that the career areas function the same way as the base game or a previous mod version. Whether it's comments made by other content creators or questions posted on the mod's Discord channel, it's clear that many people do not fully understand the career areas. To further complicate matters, as the Rebalance mod has evolved, many of the starting career point combinations have become suboptimal, and I consider a few to be completely non-viable on higher difficulty levels. I'm no psychologist, but I think it's generally accepted that disappointment stems from unmet expectations, and frustration soon follows. The mod is already much harder than the base game, so I really want to help you avoid the disappointments and frustrations that stem from not understanding what you're getting into. It's not my intention to tell you which career areas to choose. Playing styles, skill level, personal house rules, and priorities will change from one player to the next. There are many ways to play the game and be successful. Occasionally, a new player will ask, what's the meta for the mod? Previously, rushing training was the undisputed meta in mod version 1.27. If you chose not to do it, you were opting for a suboptimal campaign start, which is fine, but you should know that when you're deviating. However, in versions 1.28 and then now 1.29, there isn't one dominant way that you must follow to build your army. The purpose of this guide is to give you the knowledge to allow you to make your own choices. I will explain each career area and give you some pros and cons for selecting each. There are 7 career areas and a total of 62 career points available, so you cannot get 10 in every career area by the end of the campaign. During the campaign setup, you will use 10 career points. Another 52 are awarded after battles throughout the campaign. Most career areas offer multiple benefits, and some are very unique. However, I prefer to group them into 3 general categories. Army organization will determine the size of your army. Without AO, you have no army. It's the foundation that everything else is built upon. Medicine and training are going to influence the quality of your troops. Other aspects of the game, such as how you distribute your veterans and your playing style, will also influence the quality of your troops. However, medicine and training are the only 2 career point areas that directly affect troop quality. Politics, economy, logistics, and reconnaissance will primarily influence the weapons available to build your army. All 4 of these areas have other benefits or bonuses, but they all play a major factor in creating a supply of weapons for your ever-expanding army. Since army organization is the foundation of our army, let's start there. Army organization provides 5 benefits. It determines the number of corps, divisions, and brigades that you can create. It determines the maximum size of your brigades. It restores a percentage of missing men back to their units after battle. It increases the maximum amount of ammo for your supply wagons. And it provides a discount for refilling your supply wagons after a battle. You will always get at least 1 point in AO when you start a new campaign. In your very first selection, you must either choose Tactician, Strategist, or Logistician. All 3 give you 1 point to AO. Your second selection does not include any army organization choices. Optionally, if you choose Army over Business or Politics, you can get a 2nd point in AO with the 3rd selection. 1 point in Army organization allows you to field a single division with 4 brigades. 2 points in AO allows for 2 divisions of 4 brigades. 3 points provides up to 3 divisions of 4 brigades. 4 points in AO allows a maximum of 5 brigades per division. 5 points increases each corps to 4 divisions. You will receive a 2nd and 3rd corps after Bull Run and Shiloh, respectively. 7 points in AO adds another corps. 9 points in AO provides a 5th division to each corps. And the 10th point will add the final corps. Army organization also determines your maximum unit sizes, and the increases are always by the odd numbers. Since you start the campaign with at least 1 point in AO, increased unit sizes will occur at 3, 5, 7, and 9 points. Of course, the unit size tier that you choose when you start the campaign is going to determine your minimum and maximum sizes within each tier. From a planning perspective, how many points must you allocate to Army organization? Well, the answer is twofold. First, the available deployment slots for your campaign will determine your minimum investment. Second, your maximum investment depends on how large you want to build your units. The early Union campaign is less flexible because the Army expands twice as fast as the Confederate campaign through Shiloh, so let's start with that one. The maximum unit deployments are 8 for Distress Call, 10 to Bull Run, 15 to River Crossing and Logan's Crossroads, and then 30 for Shiloh. 20 in the 1st Corps, 10 in the 2nd. Therefore, we need at least 2 in AO for Distress Call, 3 for Bull Run, 4 for River Crossing and Logan's Crossroads, and then 5 for Shiloh. Players receive 2 career points from Philippi and Bull Run, and then 1 each from the 3 side battles, for a total of 7 before Shiloh. If I only took 1 point in the AO during the campaign setup, then 4 out of my next 7 career points need to go into AO leading up to Shiloh. If I took 2 at the campaign setup, then 3 out of the next 7 need to go into AO. Additionally, if I want to take infantry units larger than 1,400 to Distress Call, then I need to get AO up to 3 to increase them to 1,800. The earliest I could possibly get AO to 5 to make infantry units up to 2,200 would be to take 2 points at the campaign setup and then invest all 3 points through the first 2 battles. The CSA Army expands slower in the lead up to Shiloh. Newport News only requires 4 units. Bull Run deploys 8. Ambush Convoy is 12. Stay Alert is 13. And then Shiloh is 1 corps of 20. Therefore, we only need an AO of 1 for Newport News, 2 for Bull Run, 3 for Ambush Convoy, 4 for Stay Alert, and then 5 for Shiloh. Although the CSA campaign is more flexible, it still has the same restrictions on maximum unit sizes. Therefore, you may want to get 3 in AO right away to build larger units. That's up to you. After Shiloh, the Union and CSA campaigns can stay at 5 in AO for a little bit. You will not need more than 3 corps to win any battle through Antietam, even on legendary difficulty. Technically, the 4th and 5th corps are always optional, but there are some battles in the second half of the campaign where they can be very beneficial. It is actually more important to get the 5th Division for each corps than it is to get the 4th and 5th Corps themselves. The first battle where the Confederate campaign will allow 5 divisions to deploy is Second Bull Run. It's an incredibly challenging battle, and your 1st Corps will fight for a long time alone. Depending on your skill level, having the 5th Division in your 1st Corps may be the difference between winning and losing, or holding on for dear life versus crushing your enemies and seeing them driven before you. You will need 9 points in Army organization to have the 5th Division. Assuming that your AO is still at 5 at Malvern Hill, then your career points from Malvern, Cedar Mountain, and Manassas Depot need to all be invested in AO to get you there. Since you get the 4th Corps with 7 points in AO, and the 5th Division with 9 points, you can obviously start using the 4th Corps anytime you want. The first Confederate battle that allows a 5th Corps to deploy is Antietam. In my opinion, the 5th Corps arrives fairly late to the party, so you certainly shouldn't need 5 Corps to win Antietam, but getting the 5th Corps helps make moving units around a camp much easier. In the Union campaign, Fredericksburg is the first battle that allows for a 5th Division, although you can take a 5th Corps to Antietam. Assuming you have 5 in AO going into Antietam, then all your career points from that battle, Corinth and Prairie Grove, need to go into AO to have it to 10 for Fredericksburg. You'll want the 5th Division for Fredericksburg, which is 9 points in AO. Although you don't need the 5th Corps to win, the deployment location of the 2nd Reserve Corps can make capturing the VPs at Marie's Heights or Telegraph Road much easier. The next feature of Army organization is the ability to increase the number of missing men who return to their unit after a battle. There's a subcategory of player-specific casualties available on the battle report. By hovering over the first screen, a black box will indicate the number of killed, wounded, missing men. Each career point invested in an Army organization will instantly return 2% of the missing men to their units when you move to the camp screen. Therefore, 10 points in AO is a 20% return. You can also receive an additional 20% return of missing men from the unit's command stat. Command can go up to 100, so each point is worth 0.2% or 20% at 100 in command level. Combined, a maximum of 40% of the missing will return to their units after battle, and the remainder are lost forever. Lastly, each point in Army organization increases the maximum supply ammo limit by 5,000 and provides a discount to the cost of refilling the supply wagons after each battle. Hopefully, this information helps you keep you on track to expand your Army and meet the deployment requirements for each battle. In the next video, I'll provide a comprehensive explanation of medicine and the casualty system. Thank you for spending some of your valuable time watching today. I hope you found something useful for your campaigns, and I wish you much success, Generals.